Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David and in this video I'm going to show you the very simple but very fun trick-taking game Pili Pili. This is for 2 up to 8 players. It's a very basic trick-taking game. You're going to predict or guess the number of tricks you're going to score at the end of the round. If you're correct, you get nothing, but for each trick you have too many or you are missing, you will get 1 Pili Pili point. But also, each round we will play with a different rule. So please let me show you how it's played. In the box we have 3 types of cards. We have the Pili Pili point cards. You don't want these because these are negative points. The first player to collect 6 points will trigger the end of the game, and then whoever has the least Pili Pilis, that player will be the winner of the game. Should there be a tie, victory is shared, or those players can play a final round to decide the winner. And the game is cards numbers 1 up to 55, but there is one wild card. And this can be any number you want when you play it, and it can go from 0 up to 56. So whenever you play this card, you can make sure that you're either not winning the trick or that you are winning the trick. But that's the only special card. All the others, color doesn't matter. We don't have trumps. It's simply playing number cards, and whoever plays the highest number in the trick will win that trick. If you want to play very basic, just to get to know the rules of this game, you can play without these cards, and you simply give each player 5 cards. And then before we start playing, each player will check their cards, and you have to guess how many tricks you're gonna win. Well, I have some very low numbers and I have 2 higher numbers. I think I might be able to win 1 trick, so I will say 1. And you have to remember how many tricks you said, of course. So I said 1, then maybe this player says 3. Then we have 4 tricks total. This player then cannot say to win 1 trick, because then the total would be 5, and 5 is the number of cards we have and thus the number of rounds we have. And you cannot match the total bets with the numbers of rounds. So to force that, always at least one player will score a Pili Pili point. So this player has to say either 0 or 2 or above. Then we're going to play the round. So you're going to play a card. Then it's the next player's turn. He will add a card. Oh, he has a 53 and a 54. I think he want to win a trick. So he will play this card. And this player said maybe 0. So he will play a card. So he doesn't win the trick. Then you're going to check the numbers. This player has played the highest number. So that player wins the trick. And now this player can start the next trick. We all add in 1 card. Highest number wins. So this player, and so on and so on. And at the end of the round, when all cards are played, you're going to check how many tricks you have won. Is that correct with the bet you made, with the guess you made? Then you will score no Pili Pili points. For each number of tricks you are wrong, so if I said 2 but I scored 0, I have to take 1 Pili Pili point. So in this case I was wrong by 2, so I have to take 2 points. And then we're going to start a new round, and again, whenever a player has 6 or more Pili Pili points, the player who at that moment has the fewest Pili Pili points will win the game. But now here comes the fun of this game, and that is this deck. And this will change 1 rule at the start of the round just to spice things up. So each round will have a different rule. In this case, all players will get 3 cards, so the amount of cards you get each round will be determined also by this card. Each player will get 3 cards. You cannot look at them yet. Then somebody will count down, and then we can look at our cards for 5 seconds. And then you have to place them face down. And then we start playing. So you can't look at your cards anymore. You can only look at them for 5 seconds. Then you have to guess how many tricks you're gonna win, and then we're gonna play. And you have to play your cards from, well, we're gonna play them open, but you cannot look at them during the round. So very fun. This will, for this round, consider that 1 is the highest number and 55 is the lowest number. So in this case, the lowest number played in the trick will win the trick. Each player will get 5 cards, and then you can only look at your cards for 3 seconds. Then you have to put them down. Guess how many tricks you're gonna win. And then after that, you can again look at your cards, but you have to, in 3 seconds, decide how many tricks you're gonna win. In this case, you cannot guess the same amount of tricks you're gonna win as the player did before you. So it has to be something else. Each time a trick is won with 1 or more of these yellow numbers in them, the player who wins the trick will also get 1 Pili Pili. Doesn't matter if there's 1 or 3 of those yellow cards in them, just 1 Pili Pili point if you win any trick that has any of these numbers in it. In this case, we have 6 cards. The player who wins the first trick and the player who wins the final trick will get 1 Pili Pili point with that trick. So you don't want to win the first and the last trick. And most cards are multiple times in here. In this case, after betting, in this case we'll have 6 cards. All players will play their cards face down and then simultaneously reveal them. And then we see who's gonna win the trick. So you cannot react on what's played before in the trick. In this case, all players get 3 cards. You look at your cards, you're gonna guess how many tricks you're gonna win, but then you're gonna hand out all your cards to the neighbor to your right in this case. So if you have very high numbers, you don't want to bet on a lot of tricks to win, because those high cards will go to your neighbor. In this case, you will get 7 cards. You place your bet and then you have to hand over 3 of your cards to your neighbor. In this case, you have to show your 2 cards to all other players, and also you will see all other players' cards, but you cannot look at your own cards, because first you have to make a bet how many cards you think you are going to win, and after you've placed your bet, then you can look at your own cards. If you are correct at the end of the round by guessing how many tricks you're going to win, you can return 1 of your Pili Pili points to the deck for each correct trick you've won. So if you set 2 and you score 2 tricks, you can return 2 Pili Pili points to the deck. So that's very nice. So even if you say 0 and you are correct, you're not going to lose a Pili Pili point. Again, place your bet, then place all your cards to your neighbor. In this case, you cannot bet for 0 tricks. Get 3 cards, make your bet, give 1 card to the neighbor. Place your bet without looking at your cards, so everybody gets 5 cards. You cannot look at them, you have to guess how many tricks you win, and then we're going to play. Good luck with that. Only 1 card, but show it to all other players. In this case, you can look at your own cards. We're gonna predict the bets, and then everybody will play their cards face up on the table. 6 cards in this case, and we're gonna play with each hand open. All players will get 3 cards, make a bet, guess how many tricks they're gonna win, but then all players will draw a 4th card from the deck, so you get an additional card. And then I think we have had most of the cards. I think there's 1 more missing, so in this case you cannot say to win 1 trick. There's one with the heart symbol. Yes, here it is. This one's also funny. All players will get 5 cards, but then after placing your bet, each player will select 1 other player, and at the end of the round you will score both the Pili points of yourself as well as the player that you've chosen. So even if I scored very well, but my opponent made a mess of it and scored maybe 3 Pili Pili points, then also I will score 3 Pili Pili points. So you'll try to select the player who you think will be correct in his prediction, and multiple players can choose the same player for that reason. Here you get 1 Pili Pili point if you win any trick that has any of the red numbers. Oh, I think this is the last one. All players will get 5 cards, but you can only play your highest or your lowest card that you have in your hand. So only your highest or your lowest card. And then I think, no, we're still not there. This is the final one. Because when you win a trick, you have to give 1 card from your hand to another player, and that player has to return another card from his hand to you. You swap out simultaneously, so you cannot get returned the card that you offer yourself. But the winner of the trick exchanges 1 card from his hand with another player. And then that was it. And we have seen all the special rule cards. So that is what makes this game so funny. It's very easy. You simply play numbered cards. No suits, no trumps. Simply the highest played number will win the trick. Except for 1 wild card where you can decide the number for yourself. Where is it? Here it is. But because of this deck, each round will have a special rule, and that makes the game more fun. So predict how many tricks you're gonna win. When you correct, you will score no Pili Pili point, but for each miss you have, for each trick you have too many or too less, you will score Pili Pili points. And we keep playing until a player at the end of the round has 6 or more Pili Pili points. Then the player with the fewest Pili Pilis is the winner. So if you have any questions about this trick-taking game, please feel free to ask them in the comments below. My name is David, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.